Hello everybody, I'm Brad Silbert. Welcome to the Hamilton County Television Sports Show, special edition today with Hamilton Southeastern head football coach Michael Kelley. Coach, first of all, Friday night, quite a night for the Royals.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous football night. Got to start a little later due to the travel time for Homestead, but I thought our team did a nice job coming out and handling the line of scrimmage and taking care of business last week. It was good to see our team come out and compete and really have a good night.
It almost looked from my vantage point, Coach, like obviously you had a good game plan because the game was just, I'm not going to say dominated, but close to being dominated in a good and complete game effort that just kept going and going and going and getting better and getting the win.
Yeah, and the challenge of being 2 weeks from your previous game is sometimes how are you going to respond and how are you going to play. And we started a little slow, I would say, offensively, and defensively gave up a couple plays to them, and they settled in there in the second half and really dominated the game from that point forward. And again, it's a testament to our kids and the work they do in the weight room. I think we talk a lot about being stronger. You can't control a lot of times your athleticism, but you can control your physicality and your weight room strength, and being a strong physical team is something that we take pride in, and something that's a goal for us as a program. That starts, immediately last season. As soon as the game was over last year in the sectional championship game, we made a concerted effort to make sure that we made that top priority for our program, to make sure our guys understand the value of being more physically stronger than our opponents in many cases, and giving us the best chance to win.
One of the things I've noticed this season, throughout the entire season, is the speed of this team seems to, every matchup they've had, they have outmatched their opponents speed-wise.
Well, that's, I don't know Brownsburg, if I can say that 100% with 100% honesty, that we're faster than they were, but a lot of times our defense is just, when speed is noticeable to me, it's on defense, and I think our defense is extremely fast. They play fast, they're physical, and we get to see them every day in practice. We do a one-on-one session at least 2 or 3 times during practice, and so that gives our offense a good opportunity to see what it's like to go against our defense. And it's not a lot of times that we're real successful against those suckers, because they go really hard. They play fast.
Well, you guys ended up winning the HCC, obviously 7-0. And let's just talk a little bit about this Hoosier Crossroad Conference, because first week of the 6A sectional, and all but 2 of the teams in the conference are still alive in their sectionals. What a credit to the conference.
Well, it does speak to the depth of our conference. I think, seeing Westfield and how they played against Carmel last week, and then Franklin Central giving everything to Center Grove they could want more. It's just, and the rest of our teams were playing against one another, so that Fishers and us were the only teams that didn't have an opponent that wasn't in our conference, with the exception of Brownsburg as well. But all of them just really dominating the football game, and it speaks to the type of football that we've been able to develop in the HCC over the last couple of years. I think it's a growing conference with great football and well-coached teams across the board at every level. I think Franklin Central's got a great coaching staff, and Brownsburg's got a phenomenal coaching staff, and Westfield speaks for itself the last 2 years being in the state finals, and so we just have a very, very deep conference in terms of the players and coaches that are in our conference.
Well, later this week it's a road game, all of about 2.5 miles away, but still a road game, and to Fishers for another rematch with the Tigers. Let's talk a little bit about the Tigers and how you guys are preparing for them.
Well, they're very explosive on offense. Kobe Martin and Carson Dunn, and then on the edge you got John Anthony Hall, and they got Joe Cyrus and McPeak. They got some guys that can go get the football, and Mintz does a nice job distributing the football, and I think they've got one of the best offensive lines in our conference. And so offensively, they're a challenge to handle, and then defensively, I think Coach Judd does a phenomenal job getting these guys prepared to play. They're another team that just play extremely fast. You look back at film, and there are not too many teams that are able to run the ball successfully against them. And they play a lot of man coverage against you, and you're going to have a 9-man box a lot of the time. and it's your ability to execute there that is, they put a lot of pressure on you to execute at a high level, and so it's going to be a challenge from that perspective. You know, Wolf as a defensive lineman for them, he plays really well, 92, and their nose tackle is explosive, and 48, their inside linebacker. They just got a lot of pieces in their corners, you know, 2 Division I corners at the outside of the ball, and then again they got three Division I athletes on their defense, and I think they've got some Division I athletes on their offensive side of football too. So it's a great talented bunch that Fisher has. You know, it's going to be a dog fight, a cat fight, I guess you could say.
Yeah, cat fight. I hadn't quite thought about that. Most people use the acronym or use the phrase dog fight when it comes to a football game, but it is indeed a cat fight in more ways than one. How are you guys preparing for that?
Well, you know, for us, it's to do what we do. I think it's too late in the ball game to switch what you do offensively or defensively. It's key recognition. It's being disciplined. It's those fine details. Now we say a lot of attention to detail, and that's just a habit that you make for yourself. And it's something we talk about a lot with our players. Is try making everything you do a habit, because that habit's going to drive your behaviors. Your behaviors are going to drive your outcome, and making sure that we're setting ourselves up for success is found in the smallest of details. You know, in a game like this, 1 6-inch step can make all the difference between success and failure. So it's going to be us making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do, being disciplined, and playing assignment sound football on both sides of football.
Let's talk about the crowds. Last week, good crowd here at TCU Field, and I would expect when we get over to see the Tigers Friday night that house will be rocking and rolling too. Yeah,
it's a great environment. I mean, you can go off to many small colleges don't get, many Division I schools don't get the type of environment that our kids get the opportunity to play inside of. You know, it's awesome. You go out into this field, you see all the stands are full and kids are packed and everyone's hollering and screaming and having a good time. But as soon as that ball's kicked off, it's focused in on what's in between that 100 yards, 110, 20 yards field. Everyone's paid attention to what's going on there and the guys on the field. And so it's going to be important that we play with some energy and some enthusiasm, but also playing within ourselves. You know, it's not going to be a one play that makes the game. It's going to be a consistency of plays that makes the game.
You've been watching the Hamilton County Television Sports Show, Special Edition. Coach Michael Kelley, good luck in the game this weekend, Coach, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
I'm Brad Silver. Good day.